Hey, this is Mike from Webflow, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can add a progress bar to your multi-step forms in Webflow. So a progress bar like this one that you can see up here. When I click through the form, the progress bar is slowly animated to the right. In the beginning it is at a width of 0%, and once I have clicked through the entire Webflow form and submitted the form, then it will be animated all the way to the right to a width of 100%. And this is super easy to set up with Webflow, and I'm now going to show you how you can do it. Okay, so right now I'm inside of my Webflow project, and here I have a Webflow form, a multi-step form. You can see the onboarding form, a gym onboarding form, and inside of the form all of the different form steps that you just saw me click through. And to add a progress bar, all you have to do is you have to add a div block. In this case, I'm going to select the form and going to add a div block with the quick finder. And then I give this div block a class, let's say progress bar element. I give it a width of 100% and a height of, let's say, 1 rem. And a background color of blue so that it matches the form. And then what I do, I drag this to the beginning of the form. So actually in front of the form, but still inside of the form block. And now you can see we have this progress bar here at the top. Next, I'm going to open up the Webflow app. So I open my apps panel, launch the Webflow app. I'm already logged in. If you're not logged in yet, then just log into your account and then open the Elements Manager. This is this one right here. Then select this newly created div block, this progress bar element. And all you have to do now is down here where it says progress indicators, you click the progress bar button. And now we get the message turned element into a progress bar. That's literally all you have to do. And now we can publish this progress bar to the Webflow site, and now you can see the progress bar starts at the left, and then I click on sign up, then enter some information, and now the progress bar as I proceed through the form is slowly moved to the right. Now before I show you how we can achieve the progress bar that I showed you in the very beginning, where it starts at the very left and then is animated to the very right of the screen, I quickly want to make you aware of one very cool fact, and that is this progress bar works perfectly well with branching. So as you can see, I have quite a complex form here. We have lots of different paths, lots of branching is going on, but you don't have to worry about that. Webflow manages all the different branching options and paths for you when it comes to animating the progress bar. So all you have to do is you literally select the element and click one button, the progress bar button, and then you're done. Okay, let's improve this progress bar. I want it to stretch across the entire screen, and that's why I'm going to take it and drag it outside of the form in front of the entire section where my form is located. As you can see, and now it stretches across the entire screen. The reason this works is because the progress bar is the only Webflow element that will work outside of the Webflow form itself. So all other Webflow elements like the next buttons, the error messages, and so on and so forth, they only work inside of the multi-step form. But the progress bar, you can put it anywhere on the page and Webflow will automatically detect it. So let's publish this, reload the page, and let's do a quick test. And yes, everything works as expected. Now you can see the progress bar is animated all the way to the right, and I think this looks really cool. But as of now, this is not really smooth. As you can see, whenever I go back or go to a next step, the progress bar just jumps backwards or forwards. But I think it would be great if there would be a transition. If it would be a little smoother than that. And this is quite easy to set up. We can use CSS transitions for that. Then I go to the style panel on the right, and inside of the effects section, I add a new transition. And I want to transition the width because that's what Webflow animates. We can leave the easing function at ease and the duration, I want to set it to 350 milliseconds. These settings, they work quite well with Inputflow's step transitions so that it looks synchronized. So ease and the duration 350 milliseconds. And once I reload the page and click through the form, you can see now the progress bar is smoothly animated from the left to the right as I jump between the different steps, which looks much better in my opinion. Now, two more things I would quickly like to cover, two more patterns that you will find quite useful. Number one, in a lot of cases, the progress bar will work just like I just showed you. So you create an element and then use Inputflow to turn it into a progress bar. And then Inputflow just will animate it from 0% width to 100% width. In some cases, this does not work really well. So in some cases, what can be useful is to wrap this progress bar inside a wrapper div. So let's quickly do that. I'm going to press Control Alt and G or Command Option and G on Mac. This is a Webflow shortcut to wrap an element inside of a div block. And I give this div block a class of progress-bar_wrap. So now this is a nice wrapper element, and we can set the width of this wrapper element to 100%. And now we have a little more control over the positioning of this entire progress bar. So in some situations, this can be useful and can make your job a little easier. This wrapper element itself is not an Inputflow element. This is a normal Webflow element, and you don't have to click any of those buttons to make it functional. The only Inputflow element when it comes to the progress bar is the fill, the progress bar element itself. So the element which is animated from width 0 to width 100%. Another thing that this progress bar wrapper is also quite useful for is if you want to add a background to the progress bar. So if I go here and add a background, you can add let's add a background of white. Let's give it a little bit of opacity. Let's say white 10%. Publish this again. Then reload the page. And now you can see this has a nice background color. And this makes it look a little better, I think. And the animation still works exactly the same. Additionally, you might notice that when I reload the page, the progress bar starts all the way to the right and is then animated to the left, so to the starting position. To fix this, I just select the progress bar element, and then instead of having it at a width of 100% in the beginning, I just set it to 0% or a very small number. And then I publish it again, reload the page, and now you can see there's much less of a visual change in the beginning, and the experience looks much more pleasant. And then I can click on sign up, click through the form, and everything works as expected.